we can start it up now. Just trying to have a fresh recording. Yeah, it's recording. So now let us see other methods of list class. We will complete all that today. So we are having this fruits list, all this you can see here, right? This is our list, and this is the data inside this list collection. Okay. So one ABC, all this. So now we can just say something like list. Otherwise, we can do one thing. Let's print it once. So print list one. And let us see that right click and then run this now. And let's see that data. So that is, so list one is empty here. If you see this, it's showing empty for for a reason. So let me just check why it is empty. Maybe we would have deleted it. Let me check it again. Deleted our, we did different operations on list one last time. So I'm just trying to run one more time to see that what data, nothing is there inside that. So I'll do one thing. I'll try to create one more list with some data to test remaining methods of list class. So let me take it as a list to equal to something like just add couple of values here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm just adding this data. So let me apply remaining methods. You can see here list to dot. What else we need to discuss? We did discuss about pop method, I believe, add method, I believe, append method and insert method. All this is discussed. Remove method. Index, count, copy, reverse, sort, and clear. We should discuss these methods. So let's discuss these methods and let's complete the API of a list class. So now what is the index? Suppose index is, I think we did discuss about index as well. Suppose I pass a value that is there inside list. So I pass one. So index method returns index of list. Okay. So now if you see this, let me print it. Print. You can just see this index of one. Let's run this now. 1 minute. So it should give us, let me just print this. Okay. Okay, the index is hyphen list to dot index of that value. Just pass it. So for this, it should return the index of one. Let us try to. You have to end it with quotes, of course. Now right click and run this now. There is a small error. Okay, I got that name error. You can see here. So I just need to first fix this issue because we removed everything, right? We tested it in the last class. So for test, as the test is completed, I'll just remove that last delete, okay, to avoid this error. That's why we are not getting output, okay. So why it's list one is not printed sometime back is I didn't see this error. It is at the top of this output. So yeah, even list one has data. That's fine. Let's go with list two now. So let me run this now. Run it. You can see that index is 0. Index of 1 is 0. Suppose I want to print all indexes of these elements. Index of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, right? So you can just add like this. You can apply an iterator, a small scenario. So display index of what is that? Each element in a list. So each element in a list. So if I want to display that index, come value, then how do I find it? It's a very simple scenario. Just iterate it with for loop. For that value in that list to colon. Now what you can simply do, you can just copy this print. Okay. Add that print under for See this, very simple. And then the value, you just need it. The value is, you can just apply, just print that value. Okay. And then also you can just add and indexes. Okay. And then you can just run this. So this here, instead of printing one, you just pass value. Okay. Now we can get that index of each value present in this list. Of course, generally we don't need this operation, but I'm just showing you how to see index of each element present inside a list or any sequential data structure. You got it right? So this is a simple idea how to check for index of an element present inside a list. You can see this apply index method. Right click, run this. Now you can see that. So the value is 1 and index is 0. Value is 2 and index is 1. Value is 3, index is 2. Value is 4, index is 3. Right? Already we had discussed the indexing, positive and negative indexing, forward and backward indexing. Okay. Always index starts with 0 and ends with the size -1 if it is positive indexing. Else it starts with -n and ends with the -1. So -8 to -1. So we did discuss many of these scenarios in our previous classes. Okay. So now this is the idea of indexing. Next after this count method. You can also try more on index as well if needed, but this is okay. This is enough for us. How to check or how to find index of some element. Next after that count method. Count in sense, suppose I have some duplicate elements and I want to get, you can see here, let me just put something like this. These are all very important things generally that is needed for understanding the behavior of list. So if you want to understand the behavior of list, these methods are very helpful for us. Okay, suppose I want to find count of all these elements, right? Means count means it doesn't return number of elements inside a list. It gives occurrence of an element. Occurrence of an element. What do you mean by occurrence of element? So simple friends, number of times it is occurring or recurring. Suppose one might be 3 times or 4 times, two might be 3 times or 4 times, three might be 1 time or 2 times. So I want to know number of count of occurrences. You got it right. If you want to get count of occurrences, so then we can use this count method. Understood, right? So let me just show you. Count is different, length is different. If you want to find total number of elements, we apply length. If you want to find occurrence of an element, number of times element is occurring, okay, then we apply count method. That is the difference. Okay, so now you see here, print list2 dot count of 1. Then what is that I get here output as 1 is occurred for 3 times. It is recurring for 3 times. Then here we get the output as 3. Okay. So there is a famous word count program in big data. Generally, while I was doing in big data, so this word count is the famous example. Even for mappers and reducers, there is a scenario, right? So it will be a split operation generally, and then it will split all the data into this thing. So I'll just show you how to do that word count with this count method. Let me just show you that. So this is how you can get count of occurrences of an element with count method. So now suppose you want to find count of occurrence of each element in a list. This is one of the famous interview question. But I mean, this is a program. Many times people ask in interviews. Okay, generally even I will ask for quick testing if someone is attending on this thing. Okay, so what is this count of occurrence? How do I do that? Already you know there is a count method. It just gives you count of occurrences. Maybe if you want, you can add more elements to this list. Suppose like 4, 6, 7. Again 4, okay, 7, 8 or something. So just leave it like and this program we can expand it for even two words also, like for a string as well, and we can split it and we can find word count, number of words present in that. Okay, count of words. I'll just show one beautiful example for that after this. Okay, let's run this now. If you understand this, then you can apply that. You can easily work on that word count example. That is very famous scenario. So how do you do that? Very simple. Just iterate this list. So the scenario is simply iterate list. I'm just only make you understand how to work around these scenarios so that it gives you a deeper understanding of applying what we learned so far. Not just only methods, about iterating, about applying a small logic and everything. Now you just iterate it for some value in list 2. So what is this? This is not word count, of course. This is count of occurrences of each element in a list. Okay. So now what do you have to do? So you can simply do one thing, print. You can directly try to apply here the logic thing. You can copy this here, copy that, print, put this print here, just add a format string. Okay. Then count of number. You can just add because these are all numbers, right? We are not working on any strings here. Number, you can just add that number val is, you can, or you can just put hyphen here and then put a bracket for this here. You know, right, how to use this format string. Instead of one, just try to pass value this and then close that double quotes and close this one print statement. Now this gives you count of occurrences of each element presents inside list. Very simple. See, I just iterated, but there is a small this thing you have to fix. Now run this now. Now perfectly it will give us the output. You can see one is occurred for 3 times, 2 for 3 times, 3 for 3 times. Again, you see again it is saying one occurred for 3 times. Means there is a duplicate output. Can you see this? We have a duplicate output. That should not be the case. Generally, when you work in any real time, people don't accept such output. They'll try to ask for only unique output. So we have to fix this duplicate results. What is that we should do? We should just give number of occurrences of one just for one time. Again, I should not print again. One is count of number one. Okay, is 3. Again, I should not show count of number one is 3. If it is repeated for 3 times, I should not show the output for 3 times. Count should just come only for one time. How do I fix it? Before I do this, I just need to do one thing. I should find out all the duplicates. Okay. First, I should filter duplicates in this list and then make a unique list and then get the occurrences of these elements inside list 2. So I'll do one thing. I'll just prepare a unique list. This is very important. So that if I prepare unique list, so I can avoid this duplicate output in this thing when I execute my program. So how do I prepare? This is one more famous interview scenario. Removing duplicates from a list. The most easiest way is I'll just show you two approaches. You follow whatever you think is applicable. So, to remove duplicates, the most easiest approach is you can just simply say so some set of okay, there is a set method to that you just pass list to. over, and then just print the unique list. I'll just show you here. Okay, so you can just add a formats in the unique UNIQ unique list is okay. You can simply say hyphen, just print that unique list. So this gives you a list with all unique elements. All duplicates elements are removed. You got it right. So this is unique list. And the easiest way is apply a set method. Don't worry about what is set and all that. Just understand. Just use the set method and pass list to that. Automatically, all duplicates are removed from the set. That's what happens here. Understood now? So this is it, friends. So I just removed that duplicates and created a unique list. So let me run it before I apply my this to filter this output. Before I refine my output, let me just print and see this unique list. Okay, let me run this now. You can see here. Okay, you can see that this is the unique list. And this is the actual list. What is the actual list? For a while, I'll do one thing. I'll just comment all this because this code is not needed for now. So to avoid all that in the output window, till this fruits thing, I'm commenting. Okay, we'll go ahead from our today's this thing. So this looks better for us in the output. You can see here. Perfect, right? You can also print actually the original list. So you can do one thing. Just take our this thing, okay, and print that as well. So here it's done this, the list is just simply just print list, and then simply, so this is how you have to add your results to the log actually, if you are working in real time. Run this now. Now you can see that this is the original list. So where is that? The list is okay. So even this, okay, fine. We have to print this list too. Okay, let me print that, put that here. Later on, we extended this list too. So we put it here. Just name this as instead of list two because we have already list two here. Let's have a slight change in the name. Always have unique names to avoid confusion. Okay, I'm just changing that. And then here also I'm changing that. Okay, here also change that in the iteration. Here also change it when you are iterating values are not there. You can just leave it list two there. Now run it. So this makes more sense. Now you can see here, this is list two. For that, you can add a bit more this thing here. List two is okay, and here list three is okay. So that output readability is always very important, friends. Trust me. So list two is this, list three is this, the original list three is this. And after filtering, you can see unique list have just only unique elements, no duplicates. We removed all duplicates from list three by applying a simple, what is that? This is the most easiest approach. But sometimes in interviews, people don't stop there. They will ask you write a code to filter this duplicate elements. Okay, I'll show you that. So just let us refine this output. Once we refine this output, I will also explain a simple process or a code how to remove duplicates. So this is one of the famous interview question again, removing duplicates in a list. There are so many, but this is one more famous interview question. When you attend Python interviews, this is something interviews will ask you. Just remember, friends. So now let me run test. Let me refine my output here. How do I refine? I should not get this duplicate output. Now I know I have a unique list. Okay, then what is that I do here now? So here, let me just run this now. Let me iterate over unique list. Don't iterate over list 3. Okay. Iterate over unique list and then get that value from unique list and apply that in the count of that value in list 3. You got it right. So when you iterate unique list, it just iterates only for how many times, right? Maybe we have after filtering, we have 8 elements. This loop iterates just for 8 times. And now we get occurrence of each of these elements inside list 3 by simply applying a small this thing. Get a value from unique list and see that how many times that value is occurred or how many times it is repeated in list 3. That's what you should do. You got it right? So simple thing. So you just prepare a unique list and iterate that unique list, get a value from unique list and see that that value is repeated for how many times in list 3. That is what you should do. Okay. Right click, run this. Now you can see that this time output is refined. See here, it's not coming for it. We don't have a duplicate output this time. See here. One is it's showing 3. It is occurring for 3 times. 2 repeats for 3 times. 3 repeats for 3 times. 4 repeat for 2 times. 6 repeat for 1 time. You can see that very clearly in the output. So this is how you have to refine output. Do you get that, friends? Clear now? So whenever we are just working on this kind of scenarios, output refinement is also very important, right? So this is the idea. Here we are not just applying methods, we are also understanding so how to play around right on that data and then how to get and how to refine our outputs and to get a proper output. So this is one scenario. Next one. I'll just show you one more example, like, removing duplicates elements from a list. That is another example. You can use the same list here. Okay. So one simple approach is this. Applying a set method, there is a set data structure. To that, if you pass this list or tuple or anything, okay, it will just filter that because set always keeps unique elements. It doesn't allow duplicates. That is the nature of set. In such cases, what is that? You can simply just use set method. This is the simplest and easiest approach. Okay, fine. But sometimes in interview, suppose you attend anything that is having some Python need or this thing in that stack. Suppose you attend for DevOps interview, you attend for data science or data analytics, data engineering, even for big data, PySpark, you attend interview. People definitely ask questions on Python. Okay, and they ask this kind of simple questions. So be prepared for that. I'm just adding what is that filter duplicates program. So a simple program is this filter duplicates, and this also gives you an idea about what is that how this which one how this list is working, how do we store data, how do you play around data, all this you are going to understand all these things on list. Okay, so just copy the same thing. I'm not doing anything extra. Just take the duplicate list or list with duplicate elements. Okay, and then just add it here. Now we need to filter this. To that you have to just take a method, I mean a list, unique list, and set it as empty so that we can apply, we can write a logic to filter duplicate elements and add to this unique list. Okay, now what is that you do? Iterate this list 3 for some val in some list 3. You can add comments as well as and when needed. For now, I'm just proceeding without comments, but comments, using comments is always a very healthy and hygiene habit. So I'm removing this. This import is not needed for us. Again, this will spoil our output. So remove that. So now here, what is that I should do now? I'm iterating this. So simple check you have to do is if val in unique list. You can see that I'm just using multiple things. I'm doing a condition check. I'm applying a filter. So filter logic here. And also I'm applying membership method here. Membership operator. Membership operator checks if an element exists in a collection or not. Okay. So if value in unique list. Okay. So I'm checking if it is present in unique list. If it is there, then we should not add it. No need of it, right? So the other logic, better logic is if value not in. When should I add a value to this unique list? Very simple, right? So when that value don't exist inside unique list, you should add a value to that unique list. Value not in unique list, then you can simply say, what is that? If it is not there, then you have to say, what is that? Unique list dot append of value. Over. Very simple. This is the logic you have to apply to filter duplicates. See, of course, I prefer applying set method. There we don't have any big problem if you are using set. Okay. So, but there are times where people ask you these kind of programs in interviews. Just to be prepared, I'm just showing this. But this is a very simple program. You can see here. We don't have any this thing here. Right? So what I'm doing here, I'm taking a list with the duplicate elements. And then what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to iterate it, and then I'm just simply doing what? A condition check here. If that value inside that list 3, is it present in unique list? No, it's not there. If it is not there, then add it to the unique list. Suppose if it is there, then skip it. That's all. You don't need to do anything. That skip part you can ignore. Now finally, print that. Just simply print. Okay, you can print both lists. So you can apply a F string, format string. So the list 3 is, you can just print list 3. Okay, this is a list with duplicates. Next again, one more print, the unique list. So the unique list is, and you can print that unique list where we filter duplicates. Now you can run this, see here. So you can see that this is a list with duplicates and this is unique list. Following friends. So this is the idea, like, what is the idea? So the idea is how do we remove duplicates from a list? So what is this telling us? It is making us understand how to take duplicate data, how to apply iterating on a list, how to do a condition check on this inside an iterator, and then how to try to create a new list from existing list. There are many takeaways from this. Understood now? So this is overall idea of what is that removing duplicates. Clear now? Next after this, we'll just move to the next method. What is that next method? So we did discuss about count method. We did discuss about index method. Next method, copy method. So next one, copy. Generally, we can do copy in 2 ways, right? What is that? Let me just show you. So suppose you have list 3 here, or you can use any one of this. Okay, you have list 3. You can simply do one thing. So list 4 equal to list 3. So this is just an assignment. We are not doing any copy here, or external copy. This is just assignment of reference. This is a kind of copy. So we are creating another list from existing list. But what is this? This is just only a assignment. We are not creating any external list and assigning it to list 4. Okay, what happens now? You print it, printer. You can just do one thing. Copy this print, bring it here, and then so then you can just add here the list 4 is And then here you can just print list 4. So I did a copy, but that is just a assignment, I mean, reference assignment. You can see here. This is just an assignment. That's all. I am not doing anything here. So now if I print it, you can see here. So you can get list 4 is same as list 3. That is fine. And also you see you check address of list 3 and list 4. Suppose you can just copy this and print it here. So what is that? The ID of, you can just add here, ID of list 4 is, you can just say ID of list 4. And similarly, you can check ID of list 3 as well, or vice versa. You can try as whichever, I think, whatever the order you think is best for. ID of list 3. And I am also applying ID of list 3. Now you can see that both are pointing to the same address here, because this is just an assignment. What is that? Already that list 3, whatever that object that is there, the address of that is just assigned to this. That's all. No new object is created. Understood? So let me run this now. You can see here list 4 and list 3. Both share same address. See here. Same address. Because here we are doing a copy at line 81. But what's happening here? This is just only a reference copy. When you just do this kind of assignment, okay, whatever we do at line 81, it is just only a reference copy. Okay, what happens in memory? Simple, right? So don't think that it creates a new object from this, right? Don't expect that. List 4 is a new object. It just shares the address of this list 3. That's all. Means what's happening in memory within this operation. Okay. Let me just create a new window. Following friends? Simple. I'll just show you. Let me make you understand, because these are all internal memory related scenarios, friends. So you, and as a developer or as any engineer, okay, automation engineer, developer, or I mean data engineer, data scientist, whatever it is, this understanding is very important for us. Okay, so we had already discussed these scenarios number of times. Okay, but I just want you to be very clear with our discussion. So somebody is pinging me. Meeting name. So somebody is asking question. What meeting name? Any questions so far, friends? Dilip or Ajay or Madhu Shiva, Soumendra. Till this, any questions? All of you are clear what we discussed so far? Okay. Simha. So, right. So now let's just see that. Understand this scenario. What's happening with this kind of assignment? This is just an assignment. I mean, reference as reference means address assignment. Okay. What's happening here? This is also very important, friends. Suppose this is a list 3. Okay. You are just saying list 3. It has some data. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, something, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Don't just add that there. Okay. Dot, dot, dot. Now what happens when you just create a list like this? It just creates that list object in memory. All of us know that. What happens? A list object is created in memory, right? And this data, whatever that is there, it is placed into that memories, right? So this list object is created in that memory. So it has some data. Don't worry about this. And this has some address, something put 100 just per this thing. So now That 100 is assigned to this reference. This is the list, right? And you can see, right? This is list 3. And list 3 is assigned, it will be assigned with the address 100. Now list 3 is pointing to this list object with all that data inside that list. Okay. So this is how it is. Now what did you do? You try to assign list 3 to list 4. So you did this. Now what happens? Very simple. That list 3, our expectation is a new object is created, but interpreter doesn't do that. It just checks, right? What is that object of list 3 in memory and simply assigns that address to list 4. So again, it's what interpreter does. Already list 3 is in memory, simply assigns the address of list 3 to list 4. You can see here. Okay. So this address is assigned in list 4. Now both list 3 and list 4 are pointing to the same object, same list object. And here, do you think how many copies exist? Just one copy. And that one copy is referred by two references, list 3 and list 4. You got this? So this is one idea. This is one way of copying data, but this is just only sharing references. So this item assignment just only does what it does. It just shares references. It doesn't create a new copy. Then there is other way of copying. So copy method. So I'm using a copy method. So this time again, I'm doing same thing. You can just see this. So I'm taking list 5. Okay. So I say list 5 and then say list 3 dot copy. Now this time you can say print list 5. Okay. And then here ID of list 5. And then from where you are copying list 3, right? Just you can keep that as is. ID of list 5. Print address of list 5 and address of list 3. Now you see the difference. What is this copy doing here? What copy does? Let's run this now. Now you can see that when we copy list 5, of course, same data of list 3 will be present in list 5. That is fine. But you can see address of list 5 is this one, ending with 19404. List 3 is 8512. Means what? What is the meaning of this? The address of list 5 is different, list 3 is different. Both are two different objects. Both are not same like in previous example. In this scenario, here both list 3 and list 4 are referring to the same object. And this copy is just a item assignment. And simply that object is the address of object is assigned to the reference, that's all. And both will be pointing to the same object. And we just have only one copy of object. And also one more important thing. Change in list 5. This time you can see if I modify list 5, that doesn't impact list 3. But here, if you change list 4, that impacts list 3. If you change list 3, that impacts list 4. Why? In memory, we have just only one object here. Where in scenario 1, in this case, okay. Now I'll just show you both changes. Suppose in this scenario, item assignment or reference assignment. Suppose you try to modify, you see here, list 4 dot append of some 100, see that. And then just print that list 4 and list 3 if you want. You can also print list 3 for analysis, just to do a proper analysis. So these are all important observations. Okay. And also here also print list 3. This is what before making changes. Okay. And after adding append, see here, right? Print list 3, print list 4. I just try to append a value to list 4. Of course, list 4 or list 3 are same here in this scenario because both are pointing to the same list object. in memory. Now, if I run this, you see output of list 3, you can find 100 is appended to list 3, and you can also see 100 is appended to list 4. Okay, run this now. Let me just run it. And you can see that in this output, you can see here. List 3, you can see 100 is appended. List 4, 100 is appended. Of course, don't worry about list 5. List 5 is copied from list 3. That's why you are seeing that this one here. Don't focus on list 5 now. Just focus on, otherwise, just for a while, I'll do one thing. I'll just remove this from our this thing. Okay, from our analysis. Now you can see that. I modified list 4, but still that change is also applied to list 3. Why? Because list 4 or list 3 are pointing to the same object. We don't have two objects here. We just have only one object. Either list 3 modifies this object or list 4 modifies this object. Which one? The same object. So that change is applied in this one existing object in memory. Okay, you got it right. So do I make it clear, friends? So this is about reference assignment. Any change on list 4 can be shown, can be seen with list 3. Any change on list 3 can be seen with list 4. So that is the idea. Understood? Right. Next after this. Now let's coming to our actual this thing. I just removed code now. Let's add that. This one. So what happens with copy method? Simple, right? So copy in sense, this is what happens with copy. So now we are copying list 5 from list 3. So this is list 3. Okay, just take it. List 3 equal to, there are some elements 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. Assume that this is the list 3. Okay. Now what happens? For first time, an object is created for this in memory and list is created for list 3. So it has some data of list inside that. Okay, just okay, blah, blah, blah. And the address is some 100. Assume that. I'm just taking a random address for this explaining purpose. Okay. And that is assigned to, that address is assigned to list 3. So now 100. Now list 3 is happily pointing to this object. Which object? To this one. So you can see there is so much of this thing when you are trying to understand a topic concept. Especially understanding memory level things will give you a more this thing while doing development or automations. More confidence. So this is how list 3 is created. Now what did I do? I tried to copy list 5 equal to list 3 dot copy. When I do this, this is an external copy. This time, a new copy is created from list 3 and the address of new copy is assigned to list 5. So what is happening here in this case? It don't just copies reference of existing object to list 5. A new object is copied in memory and it have a different address this time. The address is different. Put 200 here for time being. And all these elements of list 3 are copied to list 5. Okay, into this new object otherwise. When I say list 3 dot copy, all elements of list 3 are copied to this new object. And then once this is created with all that data, initially when this object is created, list 5, both are identical. List 3 and list 5, initially both are same when it is created. Just keep that in mind. Okay, but later, once you modify list 5, automatically there will be a difference between list 3 and list 5. But in the beginning, both are same because list 5 is created from list 3. You got it right? It's a kind of cloning, simply speaking. Right. Now, so this is new object and this address, whatever the address is there, that is, sorry. So that is assigned to, let me just take this. This is assigned to list 5. Right? You can just add it here, 200. Now list 5 is also is pointing to which object? The newly created object. Now we have two different objects. List 5 has new object, which is with address 200. List 3 has an object with address 100. Now if you ask a question, when you apply copy method, do we have two objects or one object here? For this list 3 and list 5, we have two different objects. For list 3, we have one, and for list 5, a new object is created when you say list 3 dot copy. Now, simple point. Does change in list 3 impact list 5? Vice versa? Answer is no. Because both are two different objects. When you modify list 5, it doesn't impact this one. When you modify list 3, it doesn't impact list 5. So this is simple idea. Understood now? To do a quick check, right? What you do is just after doing this, you can again do a small this thing, copy this, add append list 5 dot append of some 1000. I am adding 1000 to list 5. So let us see that if this 1000 is added to list 3 as well. Let us try to check that. Okay. And do one thing. Print both list 5 and list 3 after we change this list 5. Right click, run this. Sorry, debugging, I believe. Right click, run it. Now you see this. So this is list 5, list 3 we are printing to. Also, I need to print data as well. Let me print data. So also do one thing, print one more time. List 3. Okay, list 5. And just make a small change here. Just for checking, doing a quick analysis. This is list 3 and then just print it here, list 3. Okay, right click and run this now. Now you see this here, right? See, list 3. This is the parent copy. And you can see that I tried to add 1000 to this list 5. Now that 1000 is added to list 5. You can see there. That 1000 is present in list 5, but not in list 3. You can see that list 3 doesn't have this 1000. So why? Because this time when you apply copy method, a new object is created and assigned to the list 5. And change in list 3 doesn't have impact on list 5, vice versa. Right? This gives you a clear idea how this copy mechanism works in list. Understood, friends? Hope these are all very useful and very interesting things in list collection or list data structure. All of you are clear? Understood now? This makes more this thing for this all this. So now, so this is all about. I think this session had very useful discussion. So you can see that we did discuss about count and we did discuss about index, but not just discussing methods. What did we do? We did also understand how to apply them, how to use them on data. Example might be small or big, don't worry about that. Just look at the usage. Because I generally use a lot of Python in my day-to-day analysis. And I'm just trying to make you understand these things. Understood now? And this automation is something which is not just specific to one area. This is applicable to any area, friends. Just remember. And filtering duplicates is one more, and the different ways of filtering duplicates. Now you know you are master of many of these list related scenarios. And then after that, again going back to the list methods, we understood the ways of copy mechanism. What if you do just a reference assignment? What if you apply copy method? At memory, see, we are seeing things at memory level. We are not just doing just adding statements and just testing it and seeing outputs. We are also understanding what's happening at memory level. So how many copies of objects are created? What is the impact of each of these lists here? If change in one list affect other list of that. These are the observations what generally we need it, friends. And trust me. So this is all about this. And finally, I think we are almost done with the listing. So there are just only one or two methods. You can see here some list five dot. We did discuss append, copy, count. Extend is also discussed, I believe, right? In some last class, I think. Insert, index, pop is done, remove is done. Okay. Reverse and sort and clear. We just need to discuss these three methods. If we discuss these three, we are done with the API of list. Then we'll jump to the next one. That is, what is that? Tuple. And we see differences between tuple and list. And I'll try to bring few automations. We are adding as and when needed. We are just adding these useful automations or small programs or code snippets just to get a bit of deep understanding of how we apply things. But we'll add one or two or couple of automations that covers overall this thing. How do we use different things? Okay, I will also show you how to have that AI assistance in our learning as well. Okay, that we can see in next session. Are you good now? Only small this thing is, friends. Please connect by 8:30 because just to adjust my this thing. Okay, generally I work little late in the nights actually sometimes, so that's why. So just to have that small this thing adjustment